Hey guys, welcome back to Cliff Notes. This is your quick rundown of storylines and what's happening in the sport. So, anyway, right now, Eli Tomac has your point lead. He's just a few points out. He's looked amazing this year. He's happy. The Yamaha looks good. His biggest rival right now is Jason Anderson. Jason Anderson is loose, fast, and as they say in Days of Thunder, loose, on the edge, out of control, it's fast.
Loose is fast and on the edge of out of control.
He looks good. So, yeah, and this past weekend was the first time I've seen Eli look somewhat shaken on the podium. And I tried to remember the last time somebody beat him head to head when he was good. Not when he's having a Levi day or an Eli day or Elito or crashing. Straight up good Eli versus someone else. The only time I ever remember him getting beat would be Jeffrey Herlings, maybe in Indiana. Other than that, I don't remember Eli ever losing when he's on point like that. So that's something to watch for. Anderson's been good. I mean, other than the radiator cap in Oakland and the takeout from round one, take those two out of it, he's got a huge point lead. Chase Sexton, been good, got a win, got that monkey finally off his back. I expected more from him after that win. I don't know. We'll see. If he wants to be a real championship contender, he's going to have to log another win here pretty soon or do something dramatic. Malcolm Stewart has been fast. He's been the best guy on on that new chassis from Husqvarna and KTM. And he wants to win so bad. And it's crazy because this year with that bike, he's not the same Malcolm. He's not as fast in the whoops, and the whoops have been nasty. It's going to be interesting to see how they go in Minnesota where the dirt breaks down a little bit. Are we going to see the guys that jump through them coming back? I don't know. And then Justin Barcia, sneaky good on the gas. And now all those guys over at KTM and Husqvarna probably a little bit resentful. They're like, hey, he's riding the bike that we set up last year and that was so dialed in, and that's got to be frustrating going against him when he's got the good setup and you're trying to dial in this new bike. And you know what? Next year you'll probably hand it to him with all the good settings. And Cooper Webb is clearly struggling with that bike. Anything less than a win this weekend and this whole season, in my opinion, will be a complete failure. I look for him to be shopping around looking for a new ride. Seems maybe they've run the course. KTM didn't want him to leave Alden. He did. Now they're blaming him. He's blaming the bike. It's not good times over there. Marvin Musquin has been fighting through those bike issues to try and prove he deserves an outdoor ride. Rode his ass off last weekend. Unfortunately, he was headed for a podium. And listen, it was Cade Clayson's fault. It was an accident in the sand. He lost control, took him out when he was getting lapped. I hope Cade's a little bit better at knowing where these leaders are when they're coming by. But, I mean, it happens. Sometimes racing, shit happens. It is what it is. Ken Roczen, oh boy. I don't even want to go into it. You can watch my other video with Kenny Watson and I breaking down what's going on with him. It's not good. I'll just leave it at that. Dylan Fernandes, he needs a start. This guy would sell his soul for a start. You can't win from where he's starting. You get caught up in pile-ups. His season is pretty much a wash. And not because he hasn't done everything. He's done everything right except get a start. Literally one piece of the puzzle is missing, but it's a big piece. Dylan Fernandes, or Aaron Plessinger, he's got one podium, but to me, he doesn't look good. I don't know if he's hurting. I don't know what the story is. I think he wishes he would have stayed at Yamaha, seeing how good that bike is, and now struggling with this new KTM. Yeah, I wish he would have stayed at Yamaha. And then the other exciting thing about this is now Vince Frazee will be joining the mix. The most polarizing figure in the sport so far this year. He's got a ton of confidence. He just got second in the 250 class at Anaheim 3, and now he's rolling that over to the 450 class. Where do you guys see him coming in? I see him coming in around 10th. I could see him as high as 5th, depending on what happens and how the track lays out, because he's going to get a good start. That's what Frazee does. And anytime you give yourself a good start and you're fast and confidence and fitness is all good, he could be as high as 5th, but I expect him to end up around 10th. That's my guess for Vince Frazee. 250s, we got a fresh restart. The West Coast is taking a 5-week break, and now we get all these new young title contenders, or old title contenders in Jeremy Martin's case, to come back, and everybody, all these guys feel like they should be the guy. And I'm going to break down, I'm just going to do a quick rundown of the top guy on each brand, because I don't know who's going to shake it out. We don't know who's coming out of the woodwork. So, Jett Lawrence. He's your hands down favorite. I don't think you talk to anyone that says he's not the favorite. He's on a Honda, and anything less than a win this season or championship would be considered a failure. Jeremy Martin. Maybe we don't all feel like that, but he needs a championship in Supercross. If he could prove he can do it in Supercross, I think he'd get a 450 ride. So that's what he's got going for him. RJ Hampshire, so fast. Shocking to me, he doesn't have a title already, but he hasn't been consistent. So we'll see if he can maybe put it together. And then you got the Phenom, KTM, Max Boland. This is his sophomore season. He looks super comfortable at the test track, but then again, everybody does. When it starts breaking down, there's that race day intensity, things change. I expect some podiums. I said at the beginning of the year he'd get a win or two if he was on the opposite coast of Jett Lawrence. So I'm going to back away, and I'll just say he's going to be on the podium and up there and doing some good stuff, but I don't expect him to win the title this year. Cameron McAdoo. Well, yeah, I don't. The pro circuit pressure is what I call it. Is Mitch tells these guys they got to win. I don't think they have the best bike. They don't have the best riders. McAdoo's a savage and could easily get it going, but he makes too many mistakes. I don't think he thinks out there on the track. And it's interesting that he's on the same coast as Pierce Brown. Pierce Brown ended his season last year at Paula with a takeout that broke his leg. Was retaliation for what McAdoo did at Atlanta, where they crashed in the whoops, and McAdoo literally stepped on his torso, like right here on his ribs, to get to his bike. It didn't help. I mean, it was pretty. It sucked, and Pierce clearly didn't like it, and so he paid him back. Now, if those two get together on the track, watch and see if there's any carryover. I don't know. Derek Drake, your top Suzuki guy, he had some sort of a heart issue, I was told. Got that fixed, came back, looked really good. But now with a full off season, hopefully he can get his cardio up where it is. He's extremely talented. I was shocked that he didn't do more when he was on the TLD team. But the only thing holding him back is a Suzuki. But that thing looks pretty good. I mean, those guys have worked their asses off, and I don't know. I expect some good finishes from him. So that's it, guys. Thanks for this quick little cliff notes. And hey, man, have a good week, and let's chat next week.